we're known as corners to be really brash, confident. I was on my shit back then. It is so hard to come from those humble beginnings and think that you have a chance because you don't see a lot of people look like you get those shots. I'm at the height of my career, how would you not? Like, I'm a rare commodity. I understood that at the time. Everything is about relationships, like everything. Regardless of how good you are, you're just never gonna be one of theirs. And they'll find a reason to get rid of you. People think everything's perfect. In my career, I think if you watch every game or every play I played, like, ain't nothing perfect about it. Like, there's moments you get beat. And I think in that moment, I just felt like it was coming at me. It was almost like back up now. I don't even remember the passes I gave up that year. Like, none of them, because I didn't feel like I gave up any in the middle of the end zone. And run all the way down there, I'm dead tired. Head up, back tight. That was the first time I ever went to the oxygen. I went right over there. We scored on the next play. That was a huge win for our franchise at the time. It's one of those plays, man, when you want to teach hustle, you go to that play, but just don't show the ending. I'll never live that down.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant.
He had sickle cell.
Yeah.
He thinks, champ, that's a joke for him.
That's a joke.
Yeah, like that's it.
Oh no.
Yeah, he didn't say it like concerned. That's
Man, who got sickle cell?
A lot of people.
Thank you. Like 1 out of every 10.
Everybody should know.
10% of the world got sickle cell.
1 out of every 10 African American has the trait.
The trait.
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine if you don't know you got the trait, your wife got the trait, and y'all have a child. Y'all likely have a child with sickle cell.
Yes.
If I had a trait, I'd just say the trait. I'd tell the trait no. I'm a man,
What are
champ.
we talking about?
Hey man, Champ Bailey, welcome to the pivot.
Man. God,
this is
great to be here, guys.
Yeah, this is what the one of, honestly, man, I'm honored, man. Just one of the best to ever touch a football field at any position, but at corner, man, there were years like you legit walked on water at the position, man. So this is an honor. 12 Pro Bowls.
Appreciate it, bro.
3-time first team All-Pro. Obviously, a no-brainer Hall of Famer. So man, this is really dope. I do, because you're a Bulldog, I'm a Tiger. We got 2 Gators here. Mm-hmm. I need to fact check a story.
Okay.
Was there a coach at your house when one Steve Spurrier was calling to talk to you, and did your mom get on the phone with him and say, this is, what's his name? Jimmy Donen?
Jim Donnan?
Jim Donnan told this story about you.
Okay.
And he said that your mama got on the phone with Steve Spurrier and say, stop calling, because you was going to Georgia.
Did that really happen? I'll say if Jim Donnan said it happened, it happened. But I tell you what, Spurrier did come there. And, I think it was more of a, you got to think, I'm in South Georgia. I grew up a Bulldog. And now here's this most hated Gator in my community. Like, if you know where I'm from, we right on the border, so we like 50% Gators, 50% Dogs. Yeah. And to have him in town was a big deal, because I don't think he ever came there to recruit anybody up to that point. And he was in the house. So just to have him there and his presence, I mean, it was surreal at the time. Yeah. I mean, we hated him, but it was still like, just figure it's Steve Spurrier, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I hated the Gators, but at the same time, man, it was, I revered, football royalty.
Was it so much you hated us because of your older brother being a Bulldog, or simply because you
Since I was a kid.
Yeah?
No, we grew up Bulldogs. It was, I don't know what it was. It was maybe because my dad was a big Herschel Walker fan.
Okay.
They sort of similar age. I mean, he's a little younger than my dad, but I was raised that way. And, you kind of follow your parents' lead in some ways, right? So, yeah, that's all it was. And, some of the people that were Gators, I didn't really like them. That was in my hometown, so it helped.
I'm glad you're talking about the people from your hometown, because I know you say you don't like some of the Gators. I thought you liked me. I remember playing you guys.
You're one of my favorites, Fred.
In Denver. And I was chopping up early on. I gave Dre Bly some crazy stiff spin, crazy setup. And somebody hit me one play. And I'm on the ground, grabbing my leg. I'm in so much pain. Champ, he over there sounding like Kane, old dog. Get up, Kane, get up. He's like, get up, Fred. And we not teammates. That's the opponent. But he was really, hoping that I would will my way to get up. And I've always had the utmost respect for you before we played, but even more from that point.
See, I don't remember that, but that sounds like something I would do.
I got a highlight. I got it on video.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do because you got to think, we got guys on every team. Like, we know guys. But you were always one of my favorites because when I would see you out or wherever, like, we would take a moment to just chop it up for whatever reason, about whatever. And, I never forget that because you weren't standoffish. You didn't act like you were the Fred Taylor that gave me the concussion in college. You don't remember it. You don't remember it.
I don't.
You just got up and went to the huddle.
I don't.
But
What happened, champ? Tell
I
the
hit him
story.
on it. I tackled him, hit him on his knee, and it wasn't like I came out of the game.
Right.
But I know at that moment I had a concussion.
Wow.
Because I felt like I was somewhere else. And I was right there on that football field.
I never knew
getting
that.
up off that turf.
I never knew that.
Yeah, number 21.
Hey,
Yep.
Yeah, I remember him.
Champ, you talking about Fred. When did you know you were great?
Great. Ooh.
Great. Like, you just said it. RC, 12-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, first ballot, no question. When did you know that Champ Bailey was one of the best corners ever to touch a field?
Well, see, when you put it like that, best corner, that's different. Because honestly, I didn't play corner until I got to college.
Right.
I didn't learn how to play corner until I got to Washington. So think about that, all right? I just like football. And first time I ever touched the ball, I scored. So from that moment, I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. Mm-hmm. And I was only doing what my brother did. And I had an older brother, and that's sort of what I was piggybacking off of. But for me, when I touched the ball and I got out there, I always thought I could do it better than him. I don't know why. I never done it. It just felt like I could. So when we playing in the backyard or around the neighborhood, like, I was one of the fast kids, so I felt like I had it. Mm-hmm. So when I finally touched the ball and I scored, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And then from then on, I played football every year from 8 to 35. So, I mean, that's a lot of football. And in my mind, I always felt like I was one of the best on the field, if not the best, regardless of position. Like, because I played everything except corner till I got to college.
Let me tell you what I knew. October 3rd, 1998. I'm a redshirt freshman. I'm 18.
Okay.
I'm 18 years old.
Okay.
I'm on the sideline. And the whole week, that's all they talk about. Champ Bailey this, Champ Bailey that. I'm like, shit, we LSU. You know what I'm saying? We got Kevin Falk, woo woo. Man, I stood there about 20 minutes. I said, nah, he different. Seven catches, 100-something yards. He had return yards. He played defense. Yeah. And that night, though, it was one of those moments where you realize there are certain people that are just different, right? And as a 18-year-old, I'm watching that, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to the league. I was like, if that's what they look like when they go to the league, this is going to be my last few years playing football because I can't do that. You said you didn't learn to play corner until you got to the league. So when you're at Georgia and you are playing both ways, some games 120 snaps, what was your focus each and every week to make sure you could go out and prove that you were who you thought you were?
Go play ball. That's all I knew. So you got to think, there was nothing different for me. Like, it was what I knew. I knew how to play ball. Like, you put me out there and I'm gonna produce. That's all I knew. I didn't know how to specialize at one thing. Like, I really didn't learn that till I got around Dale Green. So when I was in college, I was coachable. I did what the coaches tell me, but they weren't teaching me technique. They were just teaching me X's and O's and little things like that. Great coaches, great leaders, but it was just football, man. Like, give me the ball or put me in front of somebody to stop, and I'm gonna make it happen.
And he says it's so easy. That shit ain't easy. He acting like it's easy to
It's
just
not.
do that.
It's not. But you gotta understand too. Like, I practice that way, so it's what I'm accustomed to. And as y'all know, we practice 1,000,000 times more than we play. Yeah. So if you get used to practicing, and you handle that challenge, everything else just kind of falls into place.
You mentioned DG. You were on a team with Deion too at some point. What did you learn from being around the OGs at the position, other Hall of Famers that wore the gold jacket as well, as a young player who was still learning how to be a corner?
Everything. Dog, so you gotta think my rookie year I get there, our defensive back coach is Tom Hayes. And I remember to this day, he would just tell me and Darrell Green, just go over there and just do something. Like, just go teach him stuff. Because he knew that he couldn't teach me what Darrell taught me. So Darrell just watched me for a couple weeks maybe. And next thing you know, he's telling me to do things he was doing. But he understood, like, he would always say, like, there's really no blueprint on how to play this position. Like, I play it different from Dion. Y'all more alike than me and you. So, but there are things about his game that he would say, you can do this. If you implement this, and it was all footwork. It was all, I don't know if y'all ever seen the videos he's doing today. He would do those same things.
60s.
Yeah, he's still doing it. But he would tell me, yeah, you know, he had this thing called cat in the back, and it was all about playing on top, and you're just hunched over ready to break. Man, nobody taught me about playing top down like that. Like, I always thought, you know, if you play bump and run, you gotta get your hands on him. He taught me, nah, move your feet. It's all about your feet. So he had this saying, hands are great, feet are better. And it just stuck with me. And then the next year, here comes Dion. You know, totally different corner from Darrell. So what I learned from Dion is really just film study. Because at that point, I kind of had my foundation, and then I was able to watch him. And what I realized, when he get in that motorcycle stance and he's about to jam somebody, he always came back to his base. So I was like, oh, that's just intimidation factor. Like, he's not really trying to quick jam you, but he wants you to think he is. So it's intimidation. It's all pre-snap stuff. So it just confirmed a lot of the things that I knew about Dion, but to see him do it in real time, how he watch film, how he play guys based off their splits, I learned that from him.
That's amazing. Dion, another one of those two-way guys, but you played every position, and then, you know, you've heard the comparisons between Charles Woodson and yourself. And now you've also heard the comparisons between Travis Hunter, my guy down in Jacksonville, and yourself. Having had those comparisons yourself and later learning to specialize in the DB position once you got to Washington, what would you share with Travis in terms of this transition? Because it's a lot of back and forth talk. What should he play? There was some stuff tweeted out there about he's going to be cornerback this year, but he's like, who told y'all that? Yeah. So it's still kind of up in the air. What do you think his position should be? And as the OG shared with you, what would you share with him?
I honestly think he should be able to do whatever he wants, right? Like, I think if he wants to do it, give him a shot at it. And I think they tried that last year until he got hurt. Now, I think my professional take would be, it's extremely hard to master one thing, right? I think we all know that. Like, to be great at one thing is really hard. Now, if I said he had to pick one, I'd say play corner, because it's a less dependent position, right? You play receiver, you gotta have a good quarterback, you gotta have a good line, run game, all these things gotta fall in place. In the likelihood you catch a lot of balls and win a lot of games, it's not up to you, really. At corner, you really control everything. Like, I mean, yeah, it's great to have a pass rush, but if I don't have it, I can still cover. And, you know, it might be 4 seconds instead of 3.
Correct.
You know, so it's different in that way. If I was to advise him, I would say master one position, be great at it, and just play some offense. That's what I would say. But I would also, you know, want to know what he wants to do first, because if he's passionate about it and he wants to put in that work, the game will tell you if this is something you should continue doing. It'll tell you really quick. It told me. I don't know if y'all remember, but when I got to Denver, I was still screaming to play offense.
They had a package of plays for you, though.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. That was a package. I wasn't spending a lot of time on offense. In fact, I was on defense. I was a defensive player, sporadically playing offense. Yeah. And I think that's what I would advise him to do. But at the same time, if he's young and fresh and wants to do all this, give him a shot. But he's been hurt. I didn't get hurt till my 6th year in the league. Like, I didn't miss a game until then. So I don't know how long or how durable he could be doing so much.
Yeah.
But I do want to see him master one thing. And if it was one thing, it would be corner.
Why are you so nice?
What do you mean?
Gosh, you're such a nice human.
What does that? What do you mean?
Fred was on the ground. You telling Fred to get up. I just would have stepped over him.
Get up, Fred.
Oh, well, this is years of back and forth between us.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I got to talk to him after the game. I might check on him in the game. Yeah, you can't be signing no peace treaties, champ. Then they asked you this question. He was like, I want to know what Travis would want to do.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to know what Travis want to do, champ.
Why not? He the one got to do it.
You, Woodson, Dion.
Yeah.
There was this elite level of talent, right? And I think both organization and individual player realized, hey, look, they can master this non-dependent position that outside of quarterback is probably the most difficult position to play in football.
Yeah.
They can master that. And they're also talented enough that if we need them to go do this other thing, we could let them do that other thing. And also, if they so want it, we'll appease them. That's all they did. That's why they gave you a package of offense, because you wanted it.
That's it.
Not because they needed you to go do that, but they were like, he's going to be a Hall of Fame. We'll throw him the ball.
Great point.
Right? So how were you able to be so great, so dominant, so competitive, and also such a gentleman at the same time?
I don't know. I was just raised that way. You can't really dictate how you turn out. Look, man, I play ball. Like, that's just what I did. I was good at it, put the work in, but ultimately, the reason I'm able to stay relevant and connected is because of my personality, right? Like, when I think about people I've met throughout the years, I just didn't burn bridges. And I could be harsh about how I give a take on Travis Hunter, but why? Why would I do that? Like, this is his career. So if he wants to play a lot, let him play a lot and see where it goes. Like I say, football will put you in your place quickly, right? So it's just one of those things, man. But that's just who I am. I don't know what else to say, bro. That's just me.
I gotta ask you, the best corner I ever played with was Sam Madison.
Okay.
When Mad Dog was at his prime.
Yeah.
He
was
would yell at me. I've told the story.
Yeah.
10 on 10. 10 on 10. 10 on. Me and him are locked up. Y'all play the rest of the field.
Okay.
We don't need no pass offs, no in and outs, none of that. That was Sam would say. 10 on 10.
That sound like it.
Y'all do what it is. Mad Dog. Do you get bored over there when people they don't even look your way? Because it was times in your career where quarterbacks, they know I'm not going over there around him because that's gonna end up bad.
Yeah.
Let me go over here and see what goes on. Do you get bored when you were a lockdown corner, Hall of Fame corner?
There were moments where, I wouldn't say bored. I would just say you just kind of feel like you're not involved. Yeah. You just ball going that way. I'm out here covering, especially games when they didn't have a number one receiver. Like there's just a bunch of guys out there, and I got one of them. Well, I know they're not coming over this side. So everything is going that way, and I can name about 5 or 6 games where I was locked up on a guy over here, regardless of who it was, but everything was going over there. And a lot of the Patriots games, when they really didn't have a guy, they just had a bunch of guys, right? Mm-hmm. It is moments you just get, like, whatever. And then if it's really cold, I never forget, we played the Giants one year, and I didn't sweat the whole game. It was cold, but, I think that had something to do with it. But I just remember, like, I got no action. I recovered a fumble that bounced right to me. Like, it was a run play ball, bounced right to me.
Undershirt still dry.
Everything. I just remember thinking, like, damn, do I need to shower? Like,
I'm just head
but
home.
those moments happen. And but what I did learn is you can never get tuned out, and because you get embarrassed. Like, these guys are still good. It's just I was on top of my shit, dog. So it was, I knew those quarterbacks weren't coming over there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Patriots, how often people ask you about getting hawked down?
Oh, all the time. I mean, he's a dog. So Ben Watson, it's one of his claim to fame, right? So we laugh about it, and he don't give me a hard time. Ben. Ben's a good dude.
Good dude.
Very good dude. So he's not gonna give me a hard time about it, but everybody else does. And it's just one of those things. All I'm happy about, we won the game, we scored on the next play.
Champ,
I was like, yeah. Well, I had to let the running back score. Like, you know.
Champ, you ran 100 yards.
It didn't score.
You couldn't get the one to get it. You ain't see Ben?
No, of course not. Of course I didn't see him.
That's a big human not to see.
Exactly. You saw where he came from? I saw my guy on the side of me, so I passed him, and then all of a sudden, here comes Ben. I never saw him. But when you watch the tape, my guy looks behind me. Nobody's chasing me at this point.
Right.
Instead of looking to where they could come from. And, you know, it's unfortunate, man. It's one of those plays, man, when you want to teach hustle, you go to that play, but just don't show the ending. Like, I'll never live that down, though. I'll never live it down.
Is it you? Because you mentioned, bro, like you've been fast your whole life.
Yeah.
I would imagine there hasn't been many times in your career, especially when you're playing offense, that you get hawked down like that. It's a huge moment.
Well, leading up to that play, we were, I think, 10-plus play drive. I catch in the back of the end, in the middle of the end zone, and run all the way down there. I'm dead tired. Like, in the altitude, nah. I was just tired. Dog. I think it was Kevin Falk who tripped me right on the sideline as I was halfway down.
Right.
And the rest of that, it was all Will. Like, I had nothing left.
You had that little kid run by that point, too.
I was head up, back tight. That was the first time I ever went to the oxygen. That was in my whole career. Like, I would never go to the oxygen. I went right over there. Man, I was done. And I laid on the ground for a minute, too.
Right.
Hey, I thought I was dead.
That's the type of moment, too, though. The next drive, you don't know if you're right yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you score quick, you got to get back out there.
The best thing happened on that play was they reviewed it because it gave me time.
Right.
And remember, we scored on the next play, so I had to eventually go right back out there. And I was like, man, I was done after that. But that was a huge win for our franchise at the time.
It really
huge
was.
win.
Hey, Champ, March 4th, 2004, you're probably going on your 6th year, I think, around that time. There's a trade between Washington and Denver, you for CP. A moment ago, you said the game will humble you. From the business side, what was your thought when that trade took place? Were you expecting it? Did you welcome it? It was a great trade for both teams, considering what each team needed. But in the long term, I think Denver obviously got the upside of the trade. But what was your thought when it happened?
Well, the writing should have been on the wall, like, since my rookie year. So I got drafted, and Charlie Casserly was the GM. Dan Snyder didn't get confirmed as owner until that summer. So I was never one of his guys. I remember negotiating my rookie contract with them, and it was a nightmare. I think I signed my deal right before training camp or something. It was just a nightmare the way they tried. It was just weird. And I should have known at that point, like, doing business with them is going to be hard. The next year, they draft Chris Samuels and LeVar Arrington back-to-back. Both those dudes re-up before I did. So think about it now. I'm a first-round pick. They first-round picks. They re-up before I do. All right, well, damn. I mean, writing is really on the wall here. Like, I know what's about to happen. So as I'm negotiating my deal, my agent puts the numbers out there, and they basically laughed at it. So as we're approaching and getting past my last year, so those negotiations go on for about 2 years. They never came back with another deal. So I'm like, dang, maybe they just don't want to sign me, whatever. I couldn't believe it. I'm coming off 4 straight Pro Bowls. Like, I'm at the height of my career. How would you not? Like, I'm a rare commodity. I understood that at the time. So when we showed the deal to the potential teams that wanted to sign me, I wasn't under the franchise tag. Like, they couldn't trade me unless I signed the tag. So I was in much control of where I went and when I went. And there was 2 teams on the table, the Jets and the Broncos. They both looked at our deal. I think the Jets wanted to do 6 years. Broncos wanted to do 7. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me sign this tag so I get the hell on. But then I found out that they traded for Clinton Portis, and the 2nd-round pick went with me. I was like, damn. Like, they really think they got one here. So, you know, and I was a little mad at the Broncos because they had to get rid of Clinton. And I was like, man, this dude just came off 2
He was balling.
fantastic, years in the league, right out of college. So I was a little mad about that. Quickly got over it. I got my money, everything. But it definitely told me, like, everything is about relationships. Like, everything. And I'm learning that even more now that I'm retired. But when people take over an organization, they want their own people. Yeah. Regardless how good you are, you're just never gonna be one of theirs. And they'll find a reason to get rid of you. And I tell people that all the time now, like, you're not one of theirs, just understand, like, you're expendable.
Right.
I mean, you can do all the right things, but the last thing you wanna do is burn bridges. So don't go get out of character.
Right.
I never said anything crazy. People ask me questions, I just state the facts. Like, this is what happened. I wanted to stay there.
Did you feel like you had any discontent with Daniel Snyder in any way? Was there ever any interaction that you thought could have played into it? Or how much did you even try to work on a relationship with Mr. Snyder at that time in order to build something there where you could get a deal?
Well, dealing with that my rookie year, like, you know, the first meeting, he walks up there and he basically self-proclaimed himself a prick. Like, that's what he said to the whole team. So in hindsight, I could say that a lot of things were happening that I should have, like, noticed, but I was engulfed in football. I'm young, I'm 20 years old. I'm 20, I don't know nothing. I'm trying to do what Darrell Green doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't bother me because it was all about football for me. And it was really just hearing what the vets were saying, you know, and then kind of feeding off that. And when we go out to practice, they have those 4 or 5 white chairs, depending on who he's bringing to practice that day. Mm-hmm. You know, helicopter fly in during practice and land right there next to the field, and just very disruptive. So there was a lot of signs. I never really had any motivation to go sit down with him. Like, I mean, I didn't think I needed to. What I needed to do was go play and play well. That was all I needed to do, right? And that's what I did, and it just wasn't enough. And, you know, fortunate enough for me, there's 31 other teams, and a couple of them wanted me, and that's all I needed, right?
You know what I just thought about?
It is what it is.
You eventually had Coach Spurrier.
Yeah. Yeah, for 2 years.
He came back for
But they say the old ball coach now let you go home and go play golf now.
Oh, he gonna get out of there.
No, not only did I have Spurrier, I had Werfel,
Danny, Riedel, and Quez.
Shane Matthews, Riedel, Jaquez.
Gator North, baby.
No, we
Gator
had them
North.
all.
Yeah.
And, you know, when he got the job, you know, everybody calling me, dang, how does it feel to play for Spurrier? I'm like, I love him. Then, you know, I tell people after the fact, you know, once he left, and we left at the same time, I was like, man, football's different in the NFL than college. You can't just think your scheme's gonna work. Yeah, like, it's me beating him and him beating him. Like, it's matchups. And he just never really bought into that process. Correct. He just thought, yeah, you in cover 2, I'm running this. Like, nah. Yeah. Last week cover 2 ain't this week cover 2. So you gotta know who you playing against. And that was really the downfall.
A lot of coaches give him credit for changing the money. With Snyder, what he was paying and how bad he wanted Steve. I think he made $5 million that first year way back then. Yeah. And now these coaches getting paid out the wazoo. So they do give him credit for that. Regardless of what he did as a coach. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was 100%. Tough. It was tough. If you remember, Marvin Lewis was our D coordinator. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there were times, you know, Marvin was very NFL. Like, he was got to get the work in. When it rained or something, he's like, no, we got to go do this walkthrough. We got to do everything. Like, he was all about it. You know, Spurrier was more chill and laid back. Yeah, I'm trying to go play some golf, man. Yeah. You know, like, and to me, it didn't bother me at the time, but I get it now. Yeah. Like, now I'm older, I'm like, yeah, that work was important.
Right. You can't win. Huh? You can't win like that.
No, you can't.
So, you know, I came the next year. So I got to Washington the year after.
You came with Sean Taylor in that class?
Yeah. Okay. So I came the next year, and so when going there, like the older cast that was in Washington the year before would tell me that if it rained, the defense would have one schedule, the offense would have a different schedule. Yeah. Like, there were times like Marvin Lewis was the one that really kept y'all on
That's
track.
Good you got a little taste of it.
Yeah, on track to do. But I think the same thing you mentioned with Daniel Snyder. Like, I was a part of that too. And seeing the difference of being there and then being in Pittsburgh, I learned that, all ownership isn't like this.
Yeah.
Right? Some organizations
Thank
are
you.
ran
Yeah.
differently. And you look at Josh Harris and the new ownership as compared to Daniel Snyder, and there is more optimism and positivity around what they're doing.
Right.
You know, I called you a gentleman earlier, but I forgot something. I forgot something you did. I remember one Monday Night Football, I think it was probably 2004.
Oh yeah, a long time. I was young. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it was you and Ocho.
Oh yeah.
You and Ocho out there. Ocho hit you, he had a 50-yard touchdown. I think you failed. It's
I did.
the first time I ever seen Champ Bailey on the ground now.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's like when we all learned, oh, Chad Johnson can really play.
Oh yeah.
If he out there with Champ, and you was used to being zero damn every coverage. That night, that was the first time I ever heard you talk about yourself.
Yeah.
And you was like, I'm still that dude.
Yeah.
What was that night like for you to play in a way how we never seen you play that made you come out and say, nah, like I still do this?
Well, because I think people think everything's perfect, right? So, you know, and in my career, I think if you watch every game or every play I played, like ain't nothing perfect about it. Like there's moments you get beat, right? And I think in that moment, I just felt like it was coming at me. It was almost like back up now, you know. But it was just a emotional moment too. So it's one of those. I think when I look back, I'm like, I probably wouldn't say that today, or you know, I probably wouldn't have said that in my 12th year. But at the same time, like it was what it was. Like it could have been worse. I could have said way worse things. All right, like so it was a highly polarized matchup, right? Like everybody was talking about it. So the fact that I let him get the best of me that play, it was just what it was, and you know that was just an emotional time, you know, and it was a way for me to kind of say, hey, back up. But yeah, no big deal, you know. Off to the next week, you know, got to redeem myself. Yeah.
I was just fired up to see you fired up.
Yeah.
I was like, hell,
you was wide open.
I was like, hell,
Yeah.
Champ can act like that, shoot.
Yeah.
If Champ can snap,
I'm
I
with
can
you though.
snap.
But you got to think I got that confidence from guys before me that would say stuff like that. So it's, you know, we're known as corners to be really brash and, you know, confident.
Yeah.
And sometimes I didn't show it.
Must say, yeah, you didn't show it.
Yeah.
I let my play do the talking, but you know, there are moments when you have like that. Yeah, especially when you feeling yourself. I was on my shit back then. So
Nah, no question.
You was on your shit for a decade, to be honest. But Ocho, he bring up Ocho.
yeah.
The most amazing player I've ever touched the field with was Randy Moss.
Oh shit. He's always
And
my
you
number one.
always grab the ones.
Yeah.
Who was that guy? Because Moss jumped 14 feet in the air and caught a ball in Miami, and I'm standing down and his nuts is over my head. And I'm just like, Coach, what you want me to do with this? Who was that? Who was that one?
There is no better athlete to play receiver position than Randy Moss. Like, hands down, the best athlete to play out there. And I think fortunate enough for me, by the time I played him, he didn't have great quarterback play. So lucky for me, I didn't have to deal with him as much. I did match up on him, but he didn't. I think when he was in New England, when he left the Raiders and went to New England, Josh McDaniels didn't want us to match up that game. So I just played left and right. We just played left and right.
Oh, okay.
And he only had one catch that day. So our scheme kind of worked. So, you know, I bought into it, whatever. But, you know, I would always preach to go against the number one guy. So when he was with the Raiders before that, we were always matched up. Like it was me and him all the time, you know, and fortunate enough for me, he didn't have a quarterback to give him that ball consistently. Because there were times he'd be open. I'm like, shit. This dude right here, because he's deceptive. Because he don't run hard all the time. And then when he turns it on, he's a different animal, bro.
How much pride did you take in guarding the number one, though, Champ?
A lot.
Like, how important was it for you week in and week out to not only be seen as the guy who was willing to do it, but to be able to guard the number one at such a high level with so many talented players?
It was expected. And from me, I expected it. So when I walk in there on Wednesday and I hear the game plan and I'm not matching up and there's an obvious number one, I'm a little mad about it, right? So I would tell the coach, I'm matching up this week. Like, you obviously got to know who your coaches are, right? Like you can't just say that to anybody. But I think I got spoiled my very first game of my career. I had Michael Irvin. Now you got to think, I got Darrelle Green on the other side of me, and they gonna put me on Michael Irvin? Like, okay. And that's when Darrelle was like, a couple guys would tell me, yeah, like the baton has been passed. And I'm like, I haven't even played a snap yet. But it's based off what I did all week in practice, how quickly they put me in the starting lineup. Like my first 2 weeks, they didn't have me in the starting lineup. And then all of a sudden, I think after the first preseason game, or maybe right before, I was in there. And I was just lucky enough to be around a vet that had such the career Darrelle Green had that really wanted me to take that role. And from then on, like, I knew that was my thing, but then here comes Deion, right? First question I asked, like, am I gonna start? Yeah, I'm doubting myself because these are my idols. Right. Like, I'm putting them on the pedestal. I'm like, yeah, they starting. I'm definitely playing in the slot. They not going in there, you know? So I thought that was gonna be the case. Well, that wasn't the case. Coach made it clear, like, no, you starting. One of them gonna come off the bench. And they just paid Deion, and Darrelle was probably in his 18th year at the time. So, you know, he kind of quickly took a back seat. But that's the type of professional he was. But matching up was mandatory. And it's funny, like, I remember having a conversation with PS2 about this about a year and a half ago or so. I was like, yeah, man, I used to have to demand it sometimes. Like, some coaches think their scheme is just gonna work. And I'm like, it's not like that. I never forget, we played the Texans, and Jack Del Rio was our defense coordinator. Andre Johnson was doing something, and I'm like, nah, we not doing this. I'm following him everywhere. So y'all gotta figure it out. So quickly figured that out and made it work. And there was another game, I remember Pillis Price went off on us, and I wasn't matched up. I'm like, man, this is probably the best game Vic ever played. He came to Mile High and kicked our ass. I think he threw for 100, ran for 2, or vice versa. Yeah. But point is, they had a clear number 1, and I wasn't on him. And he scored 2 touchdowns. I'm like, okay, see, this is unacceptable. Like, we got answers for this, and y'all not trying to, you know, go out here and solve the problem. So, you know, from then on, people listened to me more. But I think when you're in a certain position, you can demand certain things. And it wasn't at a detriment to the team. It was just, I don't care if he lines up inside, or I can go in there too. Like, I've done it before, let's do it. And I hear corners say that, yeah, the coach don't like it that way. I mean, I heard Sherman say it. And it's unfortunate for Sherman because he played with an old school head coach, right? And I knew he was capable of matching up. But when you play in a system like that, just don't always work out that way. So timing is everything, understanding your position and the power you have. But I never doubted that I could do it and talk them into letting me do it. So I fought for that shit.
It must feel good, though, that you could say, we got issues and we got the answer for that, and I'm the answer.
Damn right.
Like, it was, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
you know, hey, like when we go into a week and we got issues, I would go sit with the defense coordinator and I'll be like, yeah, coach, see, if we run fire zone this way, you can put Troy over there. And we, you know,
Andre Johnson.
Here's the answer.
You gotta think, like, a lot of these coaches get real arrogant and they think that they can coach somebody to do what I did. And, you know, I always give them the benefit of the doubt on some level, and let things play out. But the moment shit goes bad, I'm like, nah, we not. I'm gonna show you how it should work. Like, because every offseason, there's a new corner come in. Yeah, we got it figured out now. And I just sit back and wait.
AJ got 2 on me in one game in Texas. Stutter on the mic. They sent his big ass in there.
They had Andre Johnson
3.
on you, man to man?
Bro.
That's bad coaching.
Andre Johnson versus me.
So I'm gonna yell at the coach. I'm not yelling at you.
Yell at him. His name was Richard Smith.
Coach Smith?
You know?
Loud, crazy
Beat on
talking.
the wall.
Yeah. He was our linebacker coach.
He comes to there, you cut him off, and then you push out. I said, man, this is Andre Johnson, man. God damn.
Like, this dude's a Hall of Famer. You think I can cover him?
I couldn't cover. I can't cover his kids. I can't cover his daughter.
It looked good on paper.
It looked
No, what are you talking about?
You briefly mentioned PS squared, Pat Surtain, second. You set the bar extremely high in Denver. When you look at Pat, do you think he can achieve some of the success? Well, former defensive player of the year, obviously. Yeah. But you set that bar here. Obviously, you're a Hall of Famer. What will it take for Pat to reach that bar?
Keep doing what he's doing.
Hell yeah.
It's just, I think when you look at my career, it's more longevity, right? Like I did have some really peak years, but he's been peaked since he stepped on the field in the league. Like this dude has been the man. And when I predicted it, everybody looked at me like, all right, yeah, whatever. He's with the Broncos, you say that. Like, no, I saw this dude play in college. I know who his dad is. So I know he's coming in ready. So the learning curve is very small for him. So he's gonna figure it out real quick. And now, it's just about staying healthy. As long as he's healthy, I mean, I just did a thing with him last week. That dude is a legit 6'2".
Yep. Easy.
Maybe 210, 215, I don't even know, but he's big as hell. He looked like an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Long arms.
And he can run.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, okay, yeah, they don't make him like this, and they never made him like this back when I played. So to see him and to know the type of mentality he has, dog, there's got a limit for that dude. He can have the best career for a corner ever if he just stay on this path.
Their son Braden can run too, right?
Can run. It's funny when people ask me what he play, I'm like, receiver and DB. Like, they're like, oh, like you did. Yeah, what you expect? Like,
Where'd he go in the 100?
He's a 10-7 right now.
Blazing.
Fast enough.
Right.
Right? Better be good in that 40, right? Like, ain't nobody running 100 yards. So I'm like, dude, you fast enough.
So you faster than me, I ever was. We all have sons. You want them to do the thing that you love because there's a way to connect. Right. But oftentimes you got to let them find their own way. As a father, how has it been navigating that? Because I just can't imagine having this Hall of Fame dad, and then also now I'm involved in sports. How do you sort of advise him, push him, motivate him, but parent him through all that?
It's easy when it comes from him. Like the work, the passion, that comes from him. Like when it's time to work out, like yesterday, for example, right, he comes and he calls me as he's leaving exams, like me and AJ, who's his boy, his sidekick, we coming to work out. He don't say, come help us. I say, you won't be out there? What you think? That's his, that's basically his response, because he knows he's gonna get the real from me, right? Like what he should be doing, yada, yada. But I also don't impose myself on him. Like, you wanna work, we gonna work, but you gotta want it first. I'm not gonna want it for you. Like, so it's really a intrinsic thing, and he puts the work in. And I think what's crazy is, we'll stay after practice and work, and a lot of other kids are going in the locker room, yada, yada. I'm like, how are y'all not wanting to stay out here? There's some that will.
When you see it,
Yeah, when you see it, it's like, this is not phony. Like, this is what it takes. So, I'm really proud of the fact that he's leaned in on the work. The work has to come from him. And I think for me, to see him want it, it makes me want it for him. So trust me, I sit back and I could be chilling and all of a sudden he wants to do something. But it's always about football. Track is about football. It ain't got nothing to do with track.
That's smart though.
Absolutely.
That's the one regret I have from college.
You didn't run track?
And Ike, they ran indoor and out. I didn't run track. I never learned how to run.
Okay.
I was fast, but technique-wise, I was a mess.
Well,
so I kind of go back to
if you're a sprinter, track athletes are taught to sort of stand up straight.
Right.
Football, we taught to get down.
Stay low.
It's a leverage thing, because you're going against somebody. Track, you're going against yourself.
Correct.
It's totally different running styles.
Right.
But it definitely helped me maximize my speed. That's why I ran a 4.2 coming out, because I was coming off the track in college. Like, it was inevitable that I was gonna run fast because I'm coming off the track. And I don't even know how I ran a 4.2 because I hurt my hamstring during track my last year before I got drafted. But I think it's the work I was doing to get back, the core, all the balance stuff that really enabled me to go out there and run a 4.2. But track made me fast.
So you messed around and ran a 4.2?
Messed around, bro.
That's a lie. He's so.
I feel like he
I know what you about to say.
Hey, they not fast though, champ.
Like, you kind of annoying me. Like, I'm a huge Champ Bailey fan, man. I had like so many technique questions I wanted to come and ask you, but I was like, people who watch podcasts not gonna know what the hell we're talking about, so I don't. Champ, you don't just, that's why, and that's why I ran a 4.2, because I was coming off of the track and I was doing some core stuff. I was doing some core stuff.
Come on, bro.
Champ, like everything that you're mentioning about the way you were able to produce seems so easy for you.
Well,
Dude, how easy was the game of football for you?
No, I don't know. I mean, it was what I dealt with. Now, easy, I wouldn't say that. I failed a conditioning test before. But what does that have to do with football? Nothing. Yeah. So even at the time, I'm like, this has nothing to do with what you asked me to do every Sunday. Yeah. So I almost purposely failed it. Why? Because I didn't train for it. I trained for football. But it was a blessing in disguise.
What condition test was it, though?
Oh my God, the 300-yard shuttles.
Three of them.
We had to do 3 of them.
Yeah.
Timed.
Rough.
Dumbest shit ever. So I feel like I had one of my best years because I failed that test. Why? Because I was doing a lot of core, waking up early in the morning. That was sort of our punishment. We were on the PUP list. Mm-hmm. It was 3 of us. We failed the test before camp. And our punishment basically was wake up early before practice, go work out, go to the meetings or go to practice or whatever was next, come back, do the same thing. And that all we were doing was core and some other strengthening stuff, not anything crazy. Because remember, we're on PUP, so you can't really kill us.
Right.
And then we'll start trying to do the conditioning test. But it was a little more controlled. Mm-hmm. Man, I still never passed it. It's almost time for football. Right. And it's time to get us out there. And the 3 of us, I ain't gonna mention their names, we can leave them out of it, but yeah, we ended up getting back on the field, and I had one of my best seasons because I wasn't beat up from camp. Yeah. Like, it was just one of those things. The timing was perfect. I was older. It's like, what am I doing? And the only reason we had to do it, we had a new head coach. Mm-hmm. Y'all can figure out the timing. New head coach, I'm a little older. I'm like, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this has nothing to do with football. I know a lot of people can come do this, but can't put a helmet on to save their life. Yeah. So it didn't correlate, and I was never good at distance. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I can go burst to burst. Like, how many, y'all seen me play 100 plays, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can play a lot of football. What does that have to do with playing football? Nothing. So I didn't feel bad about it. Only thing I felt bad about is I wasn't out there at practice. Yep. That's it. But other than that, I was like, man, you're not gonna make me feel bad about something that has nothing. Everybody can bring up some crazy rules and guidelines and expect everybody to do it right. But sometimes it just don't work for everybody.
That's true.
You mentioned PS2 possibly having the best career for a cornerback, having the opportunity. Winning Defensive Player of the Year, I think, is a huge part of that. My favorite football player of all time is Charles Woodson. I heard you recently with Rich.
Both of us.
Have conversations about him, and because I just felt like he could do everything. He was just a football player. Yeah. As you sat back, even in your prime, and watched Charles Woodson, what are some of your thoughts on why he was able to be so impactful week in, week out, year in, year out for such a long time?
Well, you said it. He was a football player. He's probably the most complete football player. Could play in any era, any position in the defensive backfield, like at any point in his life. Like, he was that good. But you gotta understand too, he was a year ahead of me. So what I saw him do in college, I was doing at Georgia. Now, we weren't very good, so I didn't get a lot of publicity behind what I was doing. But then he left, I came back, and I was still trying to do what he did. The best thing happened for him, and the reason he got all that, they won games. Don't get me wrong, he balled his ass off, and he earned it. But it's better in college when you win games. People see it and they feel it. So I always felt like I was chasing him and trying to do what he did. Absolutely one of my most favorite players to watch, because you said it, he could do everything. Sack the quarterback, make plays with it, calls fumbles. So I started doing the punch out because I saw him do it. I think he got Hines or somebody like randomly in one game. I'm like, damn, I gotta start doing that. You know what I mean? Because it's just a little move that you can do when you're tackling, just go for the ball. One thing I notice about him when he does his interviews is he's so basic about why he does what he does. He's like, he got the ball, I'm trying to get it. Like, all right, it's just basic.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, man. And then I think there was a debate, and it just made me laugh. I heard him maybe about a year or so ago. There was a debate on motorcycle pedal and braking, and I think T-stepping, and he was like, man, put your foot in the ground and go. I was like, he's right. So
It ain't that easy.
So when kids ask me that, that's what I say. Put your foot in the ground and go. Like, he simplified the game for himself. That's what I picked up off that. Like, this dude just simplifies the game. Like, football is not very complicated. Just people try to fool you. Like, there's a lot of tricks, like trick plays and this and that, smoke and mirrors. But at the end of the day, they got the ball, I'm on defense, I'm trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Period. And this coming from one of the best players to ever do it.
Touch it. Yeah.
So the underlying message is keep it simple. Like, don't complicate it. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a great athlete, all that, but the dude just kept the game in his mind very simple.
Champ, I feel like you Hall of Fame types, right?
All right.
You Hall
Become
of Fame
stereotype.
types.
All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely about stereotype, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all talk about, like, the game isn't that simple for everyone. Right? Like, like when I watch film, I was watching.
It really is, though.
It's not.
I didn't say it was not hard to do. It's the concept of it is very simple.
It's not, because I had to cover Antonio Gates. And he had about 9 on me for 150.
Well, that was a mistake by the coach.
Shannon, he blamed your coach for your whole career.
I had LaDainian Tomlinson in the flat. That was a bad matchup. I couldn't stop LT in the flat. It's not that easy. You make it easy. It's not easy, bro.
I made it look easy sometimes, but I think doing it is hard. But the concept of what you have to do is what's simple. Like, yeah, you knew what you had to do, but doing it, shit. You talking about two
Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
on the same team.
Yeah, Tony
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
I had to face them twice a year, so
Yeah,
I
Tony
know all about
Gonzalez, he was 47. Hit me for 5 in the first half. 5 for about 80.
In my Hall of Fame class, so no surprise there.
Yeah, so it's not easy to rise
that's what I'm
point.
saying,
Like,
like-
y'all, the Hall of Famers, y'all act like, oh, just put your foot in the ground and turn. I tried to turn. I didn't turn fast enough.
I guess for some people, you do have to be a little more specific because they're just not naturally athletic. So you kind of got to rep it. Like, there's a kid, boy, he confirmed that he's not a corner. So I'm going to make him play receiver. But my point is, I just realized, like, everybody just can't go backwards and go forward.
Yeah.
Like everybody can't do that. So there will be times, you got to really specifically teach people. But I always feel like, the concept of it is easy. Like, you go back, you go forward. You got to turn right, you go that way. What's the best way? Keep yourself square so you can go either way. Like, just little stuff like that.
So we would talk about this when we watch film. How did the butt to the sideline off coverage thing start?
Dang, I'm glad you asked that because I think people think that's something I wanted to do. We had a coach at the time, Bob Slowick, who would, he really preached like, most touchdowns come when you give up big plays. And he would always, so he had Dominique Foxworth them out there, playing top down on everything, not really challenging the throws like you love a corner to do. I remember I got hurt. I hurt my hamstring. I told you I missed my first few games of my career. And then I just realized when I played bump how much I used my hamstring because I never had to do that before. So whenever you striking a guy, like you feel it, like that hamstring. Yeah, I hurt my hamstring one time tackling, like because you don't realize like pushing on something. The force, right? Everybody think it's just from sprinting or something. Man, when I hurt my hamstring and I came back, I just realized I couldn't bump the way I wanted to. I didn't have the confidence. So he told me to start playing off. Just play sideways, read the quarterback. I'm like, well, I remember Marty Schottenheimer trying to teach us the 3-step read. So I kind of went back in a memory bank and started thinking, okay, I'm gonna read the quarterback, but I'm just reading his tempo, basically his steps. Now this is at a time when most quarterbacks are under center, so you can kind of see the 3 steps, see the 5, see the 7. But my conclusion came, oh, this is just timing. It's a feel, it's his energy, it's how. So I spent a lot of time watching the quarterback during the week. Like, what does his steps look like? When does he like to go over here? I got my receiver in my peripheral. So when I do break, I look at the receiver before I go so I know how to make the right angle. And it just worked.
I see you got 10 picks though, right?
10 and 8. Yeah, like it was unbelievable in real time because they didn't know how to beat it. Because it felt like I was playing bump and run, playing off, but I'm really like not that far off. I'm sitting about 5-6 yards. But what I'm doing is reading the quarterback and playing off his tempo. The only way you can fool me is if you don't do a traditional 3-step. And that I got exposed one time in training camp. We went to practice against the Cowboys. And Romo and T.O., they thought they'd be funny. He came out there, did a little 3-step. T.O. ran a fade. I was like, okay, that's first player one-on-one. So I was like, okay, I see. Y'all been scheming. Y'all been talking about this one. All right. So he caught the ball, touched him up. All right, that won't happen again. But, it was good to see that weakness in practice, while I was preparing. And I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm aware they don't have to throw a traditional 3-step pass. They could throw a 3-step fade and get you. Like, that's the vulnerability because he's running in my blind spot, right? And I'm looking at the quarterback. By the time I see where he is, he's a step on me. So, he talking about 2 of the greatest to ever do it. So, all right, if it's time
he had everybody trying to play with their butt to the sideline, getting burnt up inside.
Because they didn't know what they were doing.
They giving up slants, digs, posts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it was a parade.
And my football knowledge and athleticism was peak at that time. I mean, I just felt really good about my game at the time.
Felt really great, which you should have. Tim, what's been your biggest pivot in life?
Biggest pivot?
Yeah, that's the moment you can look back on and say, because this happened to me or for me, I am who I am today.
I mention this a lot because I don't think people understand the impact. It was really when, he's a Gator, by the way, Henry McMillan. I don't know if he was there when you were there. D lineman, played at Florida. He's from my hometown. So I saw him get that scholarship to Florida. Okay, bam. All right, kid from my hometown, get it. You just see it. You don't know how important it is. I'm young. I'm in 7th, 8th grade, maybe. He gets that scholarship, and then all of a sudden, my brother's a senior, and then I see him get a scholarship. I'm like, damn, I can actually go to college. Like, people don't realize, like, it is so hard to come from those humble beginnings and think that you have a chance because you don't see a lot of people look like you get those shots, not from where I'm from, right? So when I saw him get drafted by the Seahawks in the 7th round, 7th round pick, I'm like, what? From the crib? Like, he went, okay, I'm better than him. like I knew that, based off what he done, and I'm like, I know I'm better. But he's my guy, like, he's from the crib, like. But then I see my brother, and I'm like, damn, my brother's starting. I'm better than my brother, so, right. But we play the same position, so right. I can easily compare.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, I loved football. So with all that inspiration of seeing those guys, it changed my mindset on how I approach the game, really. Right. It just made me take it serious. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I really changed anything. It was just I enhanced it just a little bit, like about how I approached it and like what this could really do for me and my family. Like, this is a big deal that I could go to the league, bro. Like, yeah. And then I'm like, dang, I got a 40+ inch vertical jump. I do. But then you don't notice because there's no body of people to compare it to around the country. Yeah. Like, I don't know. So when I get to Georgia, I show up on campus, I'm like, these are guys they got on scholarship. Some of them.
I got them.
Like, because you start realizing, like, oh, these guys ain't that good.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all right, I got a shot. It just, right. But it still took Henry McMillan doing that to say, okay, I could do that.
Right.
And then I started looking for confirmation in other places. And that's where I kept finding it. Like my peers, like I'm better than my peers. Like nobody's jumping and running like me. And then when I got to college and I started long jumping, it was just, I was like, damn, I'm on the track team. There's no jumpers. I'm the only jumper out here. So it just kept I kept getting confirmation that, damn, I'm as good or better than most of my peers. And I just leaned on it and just kept working. It was fun though.
Right.
So the work I never ran from, it was fun to me because that's all I knew. That's all I knew was to go out there and perform. And you know, the rest is history. But yeah, to your point, man, your question, that was my biggest pivot, just seeing and being inspired by somebody else doing it.
Nah, you confirmed that you were different.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, what he confirmed was everybody he was seeing do things, he was better than them.
Yes.
Like that. Like he goes, yeah, I saw such and such. I'm better than him.
Because as you can
Let me
tell,
go.
like I have a humble approach about it, but it's like, okay, well, all right, this is what it is. And then, you know, trust me, it didn't change my behavior, but it definitely shaped my mindset and my vision.
What's your
All
vertical?
the way to Canton.
Vertical
All the way to
40.
Canton.
All the way
Vertical
to Canton.
All the way to
40.
Canton.
Yeah, he jumping 40s.
Get on my nerves.
Hey guys, y'all
I mean,
can't
but
jump this high?
that was my MO. I was a jumper, I was a runner. I'm just athlete, man.
Explosive.
Better year, 2006 Champ Bailey, 2009 Darrelle Revis.
2006. Here's why I say that. I think it's the plays, making the plays, like getting the ball back. You know, I heard Asante Samuel say this maybe a couple years ago, like, man, getting that ball back is paramount. And I really prided myself on getting the ball back. And dude, I don't even remember the passes I gave up that year. Like none of them, because I didn't feel like I gave up any. Like, so if anybody did anything against me, pull up the tape from that year. I got to see it because in that year, it felt like I could do no wrong on the field. And that ball was, anytime it got near me, sticky. it was just hit. Like, it was that same year I probably got that fumble. No, that was in Washington. It was just, dude, that year now, don't get me wrong, with what Revis did, shit. Yes. Revis was dominating. And that's what I was so impressed with him about is how he dominated on the field and dominated in business. Those two things I admired from afar, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I will say this about your season. Statistically, at least if you look it up, it says that 4 footballs were caught in your general area that year.
General area, oh, okay, well.
Around.
But like I said, I don't remember one catch. Now, there might have been a few, but I don't remember it.
But I'm saying, think about that, champ. In 16 games, you had 10 picks,
yeah,
right? And 4 footballs were caught in your general area.
Yeah.
That's what the statistics say.
So what you think?
That's probably none.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the numbers right here. The numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the numbers.
Nah, man,
it showed that you was really
like
like
that was one of those years though. I think when people talk about the position, they point to 2006 Champ Bailey, they point to 2009 Darrelle Revis. I think Woodson, who won the defensive player, his year is so different because he did so many things.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Played the slot,
yeah.
Played outside, rushed the quarterback. PS2's year, winning defensive player of the year, was a year very similar, man. But I just appreciate you, man. Always been a fan from afar.
Man. Been a fan of y'all, watching y'all do this, man, and the growth.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Not much has changed. I mean, I've known this guy since high school, so.
Sir.
Y'all, man, y'all doing y'all thing. Love it.
Try to.
All love.
I mean, we didn't know that you was old like Fred, though.
Yeah.
Fred is older than me. He got me by 2
Fred
years.
older than everybody.
2 years at least.
I didn't know you was in the league at 20. That's when you got drafted.
I got drafted at 20.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the